This is the GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate. But what makes it the ultimate Yukon Denali? The GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate is a top-of-the-line, fully loaded version of the full-size SUV that aims to live up to its impressive name. Has a starting price of $99,695 and comes standard with a 3-liter inline 6-cylinder turbocharged diesel engine rated at 277 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque, while this one has the optional 6.2-liter V8 that's rated at 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque that you can get for $101,245. And for that price, pretty much every feature on the Yukon's option sheet gets checked. There really aren't any important functional options you don't get. As far as ultimate specific features are concerned, this has 22-inch chrome wheels, chrome around the windows, and dark Vader chrome in the headlight housings and front grille. Inside, there's Alpine Umber full-grain leather upholstery with unique stitching and open-pore wood trim, both of which feature topographical maps of Mount Denali. The front climate control seats have 16-way adjustability and a massage function, and the 18-speaker audio system includes speakers in the headrests. The Yukon slots between the Chevrolet Tahoe and Cadillac Escalade in GM's full-size SUV lineup, and that's exactly the vibe it's going for. A truck that's a little nicer, but not quite a luxury vehicle. And to that end, it's got this nice blend of technology and functionality. You have dual digital displays, but also all of these knobs and buttons down here that are easy to use when you're driving, especially if you have gloves on. Also has a wireless charging pad for your phone and cup holders down here, which means there's no shifter here, and there isn't one on the column either. Instead, you get these buttons on the dash, which are probably my least favorite thing. Push to park, pull for reverse, push for neutral, pull for drive, and then you have a shifter down here for the 10-speed automatic transmission. It's one of those things you get used to but never really fall in love with, and honestly, I wouldn't want to have to deal with that in a spur-of-the-moment emergency situation. As for my 6'1" scooch test where I see how I fit behind myself with the front seat set comfortably for me, it's pretty much what you'd expect from a full-size SUV. Very roomy. These seats slide fore and aft and recline, and while the back seats don't, I will fit back there, although not quite as comfortably, and certainly not for a long trip. Up here you get these entertainment screens, which have HDMI inputs, streaming services, and Bluetooth headphones, although I think you'll probably have to get your kids off of their own screens before they're going to want to use these. Out back, the tailgate window flips open so you can throw stuff in without opening the tailgate, but if you do, you'll find a cargo space with room for carry-on size bags. That can be expanded with the power folding third row and a second row that both folds remotely and can also be flipped forward. But if you need even more space, there is a long wheelbase XL version of this that has an even larger trunk. And even though this is dressed for professional success, it is a real deal truck. It has a 4x4 system with an automatic all-wheel drive setting, a 4-wheel drive high setting, and a 4-wheel drive low setting. And it rides on an air suspension that can lift and lower the ride height. Of course, if you're going to want to go off-road with this, you're going to need some new boots because those wheels and tires are not suited for anything rough. But the whole idea behind the Ultimate is going all in on the Yukon. And if there were a kitchen sink on the options list, this would probably have it. In fact, that would be pretty cool. The extra ride height could come in handy in deep snow, although you still want different tires for that. But where the air springs and the adaptive damping that goes with them really pay off is in the ride quality. This is smooth as silk, and even on a windy road, there is incredible body control for something that weighs, well, let's find out how much it weighs. How much does the GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate weigh?
5,827 pounds.
That would be the Google Assistant, which comes standard. This also has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto smartphone integration. And as far as anything approaching sporty handling is concerned, I tried this on a couple of Cloverleaf off-ramps at the maximum posted speed limit, of course, and it felt like a dancing elephant, very light on its feet. But where the 4x4 system and the fact that this is really a truck pay off the most is in towing. That's what you buy a vehicle like this for, and it's rated for up to 7,500 pounds, which would be a pretty good sized camper or horse trailer. One of the standout features the Ultimate gets is General Motors' hands-free Super Cruise highway driving system, which is a lane centering adaptive cruise control that can also change lanes when you hit the turn signal, or you can set it to do that automatically when there's slower traffic ahead, and it will even go back into the original lane you were in after it passes the car. There's a scanner that keeps an eye on the driver's face to make sure they're watching the road in case a big emergency does come up. But I'll tell you, I drove this from New York City to Boston and back, used Super Cruise most of the way on the highway, and it worked flawlessly. Occasionally when you come up on an interchange like it's supposed to, it asks you to take back control, or if you're going through a construction zone, because it uses map data that is frequently updated. As a result, it requires a subscription to operate. You get 3 years included with the purchase of this vehicle. And let me be clear, it's included with the purchase of the vehicle. It's not free. You don't ever get anything free with a vehicle. They figure out what that costs and they work it into the price. But after the 3 years, you do have to pay for a subscription, which right now is $25 a month. And if you spend a lot of time on the highway, I'm gonna tell you, I think this is worth it. It works that well. Now, we here at American Cars and Racing are not in the business of telling anyone that they should be going out and buying a $101,000 SUV. This is about want, not need. If you have the means, it's one that you might want. Its main competitors are the Lincoln Navigator and the Cadillac Escalade, both of which always seemed a little too precious for me as trucks. I think this has just the right vibe. I think the ones that might give it the most trouble in that regard are the top versions of the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, which are even more luxurious, but also a little bit more rugged. And while they do come with the same sort of street smart wheels and tires, you just get the feeling they really want to throw on mud terrains and get dirty. But the question is, if this sells well, could GMC make something even nicer? And I think it's kind of dug itself a hole with the Ultimate name. What's better than Ultimate? It's not like it's the 10 and you can turn it up to 11. What are you gonna do, Ultimate Plus? That's like saying something's infinity plus infinity. It's just silly.